Warning! This video blog or vlog could contain harsh opinions or foul language. If you do not appreciate said content or material, well, you could just fuck right off. Greetings, Internet people. RantingRamsay here. How are you all doing today? I'm not doing so badly, and there are just a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you about today, one of which will encompass the bulk of the video at the beginning, and then there'll be a really quick blurb at the end that is actually meant for humor, something that you may all find amusing. So, if you don't normally enjoy... You know what? Fuck you. Just watch the video.
Fuck you, you fucking asshole.
Anyway...
I hope you die of cancer, you smoking piece of shit.
The first thing I want to talk to you about is something that you may have heard about already on the internet. It's been making its rounds. I believe one of the first places that this popped up on the internet was in the Reddit forums. I don't know how many of my watchers are Redditors. I myself am not a Redditor. I occasionally browse the site to look at something amusing, but for the most part, I'm not really a Redditor. But apparently this came up first on Reddit, and maybe not first, but primarily there's more people talking about it on Reddit than anywhere else beforehand. Anyway, it's about department stores are now using mannequins that are, I guess, classified as obese. Plus-sized. There is a difference, I guess. But apparently there have been a few different chains of department stores that have rolled out plus-size mannequins, and apparently one of the things mentioned in the article about this whole thing is that the tendency for department stores to use, like size 2 and size 3 mannequins as it pertains to women's clothing, that a lot of customers have been disappointed because they see how a garment hangs on a size 3 mannequin, and then they buy said garment in size 14 or 16 or larger and realize that it doesn't look the same on them as it does on the mannequin. Well, number one, all I have to say is fucking duh.
That's probably the most articulate you're going to be in this entire video, isn't it?
Only anorexic/bulimic supermodels look like normal department store mannequins. This is a very extremely small percentage of the population, but because of the American perception of beauty, and that you can't be beautiful, you can't be glamorous without being anorexically slim, is why we have these tiny little fucking mannequins in stores. And really the same thing goes for men. You go into the men's department, and there's even been a trend in recent years to have men's mannequins have ripped abs, even though they're being covered up by a shirt.
How would you know? You probably lift them up to check, don't you? Yeah.
There's this standard of beauty that is presented in America that many people have been advocating for a very long time is not a healthy standard of beauty. And I agree. Looking like one of the fucking bimbos on America's Top Model or something like that is not fucking healthy for you. Being that small and anorexically thin in and of itself presents a decent amount of health problems. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, being as large as Americans are perceived as being is also not healthy. Unfortunately, there's a statistic backing that perception up, in that apparently now there's a study done that says, it's in the article, it's linked in the description, that approximately 70% of Americans are either overweight or obese. That in and of itself is just fucking depressing. But to bring it back to the point about the mannequins, there's been a completely and totally mixed reaction to these mannequins. There are a lot of people that are supporting them, saying, And it's a good thing to present, we're not all just anorexic little stick figures, which is true. Absolutely fucking true. Even the fittest and healthy of us don't look like mannequins most of the time. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, there's people criticizing this mannequin, saying it's not attractive, I won't buy clothes that are on this. The whole thing kind of speaks to me of this self-conscious culture of America and this perception we have of our own bodies and the enforced ideal through media and television and movies and various other sources of propaganda. And we're not talking military or political propaganda. We're talking societal propaganda. It doesn't fucking exist. It does fucking exist. Look it up.
Yes, we all understand what propaganda is. Please get on with the fucking point.
It's presented to us that we can't possibly be attractive or happy or healthy unless we look like these stick figures. But then, once again, on the opposite end of the fucking extreme, it's really not healthy to be so obese or overweight to the point where you have difficulty moving around your own fucking home. Neither one of these things is healthy.
Does anyone else find it ironic that this douchebag is lecturing people about health while smoking a cigarette?
But it's the interesting, I guess, dichotomy of American culture where we have half or a portion of the public speaking out against these mannequins, saying, why the fuck would we even have these? And then we have an equal percentage of the population saying, this is great. Let's acknowledge that we're all a bunch of fat fucking lazy assholes. No, that's not what they're saying. I was being facetious. They're saying that we're not all stick figure mannequin supermodels, which is true. And I agree with that. That the average healthy person doesn't look like either one of these store mannequins. You have the large obese mannequin, which really, from the pictures that I've seen in the article, it's really not that fucking obese. It's overweight, it's portly, it's curvy, it's chubby. But it's not the 400 and some odd pound woman you see driving the fucking cart down the cookie aisle of Walmart.
Okay, that was actually a pretty funny image.
So either extreme doesn't really help, but I don't really understand all the people that are trying out against these plus-sized mannequins. It's just a fascinating part of American culture for me. That I'm a relatively healthy individual. Sure, I could use to lose a few fucking pounds, but I'm also smart enough to know that doing so would be best achieved through a combination of altering my diet and getting some fucking exercise. Any one of these things by themselves won't fix my particular fucking problem. If I alter my diet, sure, I'll lose a few pounds, but I won't become any healthier because my body won't gain any muscle mass. It won't increase my cardiovascular health. But if I simply keep my diet the same and start fucking exercising, it's really not gonna help that much as well. Sure, I may increase my muscle tone to a certain point and maybe my cardiovascular health, but I'm not gonna lose the weight that I should or would want to lose because I'm intaking a large amount of calories and trans fats and all this other shit that's not healthy for me. So you have to alter your fucking diet and get some exercise to affect that.
So exactly what does all of that have to do with plus-size mannequins?
But basically, so that's the basic point I had. I say basic point even though I just covered like 10 million different fucking bases.
No shit, you rambling douchebag. Get to the fucking point.
My overall general point is that I don't find these obese, and once again, obese in quotation marks, because I don't find them obese, I find them to be plus size, which is what the article says, plus size, not obese. Mannequins any more offensive than I've found the stick figure mannequins, in the regard that I only ever looked at them to like, oh, that's what's on sale? Okay, obviously it's not going to look like that on me. Obviously it's not going to hang like that on me because I don't have the figure that fucking mannequin has. Okay, so I don't know. I think people are being overly sensitive about the whole issue. if department stores want to boost their sales by putting more realistic mannequins in their stores that more accurately represent the general physique of the American populace, good on them. Good capitalism, I guess. Whatever. I don't care. I just don't understand why people are getting so upset.
Wait a minute. Was that sarcasm or satire? I can't really tell.
And now I promised you a bit of humor at the beginning of this video. I would take place at the end. This is coming to the end of the video. And I am going to insert a screenshot right now of when I was looking through Yahoo News articles. I found this to be actually relatively entertaining, because if you look closely at it, nothing is really going to catch your eye until you look at the highlighted part of the bottom right section. Yes, must have panty ingredients. All I have to say is vagina. RantingRamsay, that is all.
Hey, did you get all that, man?
Douche.